Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mythos Mystery Society. As we continue our game of Our Traveling Home, a GMless game by Kreider, we are on our fourth episode tonight. It is a story very similar to Howl's Moving Castle or other Studio Ghibli movies about a found family living in a magic castle that belongs to a wizard. Last episode, we ended with the climax of Act 1, so we're going to pick up today with our first scene called Securing the Home, the beginning of Act 2. So we all have new marks to hit. And Alex will be joining us at a later time this session. So we're just going to do this one without her.
Yeah.
Are you all ready?
Should we introduce ourselves and who we're
Oh,
playing?
yeah, our characters probably. Yeah, that would
We
make
could,
sense.
if you
Yeah.
feel like it.
If
I
you're
don't feel
feeling
like it.
frisky.
Okay,
Not.
let's just get in at it.
Let's just fucking rock dog.
Whatever,
this.
I'm the wizard if you
In
couldn't
meteor
tell.
res.
I'm Enoch. I'm playing the Cursed. I use he, him pronouns. And my real name is Ty.
Hi, Ty.
No,
Thank
you're
you for
Enoch
that.
now forever and ever.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Zach. That's my real name, and I use they them pronouns. And then I'm playing Orlest, the child playbook. And Orlest likes to use the he's and the theys.
I'm Maria, who uses the theys and the she's, and I'm playing the wizard, who does have a name that will hopefully come out this act, who uses they and them and don't care pronouns.
Wizard.
Wizard. The pronoun is wizard.
Mhm.
Time does not matter for that. And then Alex, as Ty said, is going to be joining us. Alex plays the demon
Named Mez.
named Mez.
Cool. All right. To
Let's
begin.
secure this home.
Securing the home. Once the everyone is out of danger, the first order of business is moving the home and upgrading its defenses. How do you all work together to make the needed improvements? As a group discuss, how will you upgrade the home's defenses? Was there any damage to the home as a result of Act 1, the climax? If so, what was it and how it will be repaired as part of the upgrade? I don't think any damage came to us, did it?
No, we crushed it
Uh,
in the climax.
yeah, we
rolls-wise.
didn't- We didn't
Yeah, we succeeded
have
on
any
everything.
danger with the house. Yeah, I think the only thing that might have gotten damaged is maybe like part of the garden when I ported back in and just kind of like flumbled my way through.
Mhm.
Uh,
I believe I also did launch the house, so who knows?
you
how
did,
that
you
went.
did bounce the
Yeah.
house real hard. There's probably a little bit of a like jarriness from that because that's a lot
At
of
least
energy.
detritus.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, so probably just doing like a little check-in and repair from that. And then probably oh damn, that is right. We do need dice. I have dice. We're fine.
I have dice too.
And then a lot of warding. So much warding and making it look more camouflaged, hiding it better because it's not very inconspicuous, right? It's never inconspicuous, but like right now it's
one
like,
might say conspicuous.
what it's psychedelic.
So the
Almost.
defenses we're going with are camouflage and upgraded wards. That's kind of what we're shooting for here.
Yeah, and I think just like any
Believe so.
extra repair, like fortifying the jumpy jumps so that it doesn't break if we have to jump real fast again.
Jumps, camo, wards.
Action.
All right. Working together. Take turns choosing actions. Everyone should pick one. And do you guys have the same list I do?
Get to
I
work,
hope so.
watch someone work, and a moment
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
Fantastic. We love that.
Does anyone want to start?
I could pick a thing. Since we're working on wards, I would like to watch someone work, aka Wizard the Wizard. To just observe. We had a little bit of a scuffle about wards before, and I'd
Mhm.
like to learn how to do this properly, according to my good older friend the Wizard's terms of their house.
Amazing. Okay. So I think this is probably still in like that big air jump. I imagine that we're in the air for some time, some extra time, because this is the big hops. And so I think that there's a lot of balcony work and like hanging from like swings and whatever, trying not to fall, all of that sort of thing. And I think what you we'll say that this is one that's on like maybe there's like a small patio on like the equivalent of the second floor, even though the floors here are weird. And Wiz is knelt down on the floor. I think has like their sleeves rolled up, and has like a little pot of chalk, different colored chalk pieces, and like reaches over without even looking at it, picks out like 2 different colors. One is like a shiny like metallic gold, and the other is a deep like burgundy, and takes one in each hand and begins to sketch this very geometric line, starting like right in front of them, and then making kind of this mirrored image, but with 2 different colors, and the entire time that they're doing this, it's almost mechanical in nature that they can do it with like both hands at the same time, and it looks identical on either side. When they're done, it meets back up in the middle, and they put the chalk back, and then are you just watching as like did you make your presence known while you were here, or?
I think at some point, like I've got like a loosely bound stack of papers, like making notes, and maybe without announcing myself, like as you're doing that first sigil you just described, I pop in like, all right, so you had one of the colors there was gold, wizard, and now the gold signifies, no, it's on the one half of it, and that's for.
Oh, right. So the gold typically represents more of a like a positive kind of energy. So only inviting things that, you know, are good into this place. And the darker side, I use burgundy. You can use it at a lot of different dark colors, but specifically this one, it's kind of a duality. So we're bringing the good stuff in, and we're kind of pushing the bad stuff out.
Okay. Now, you said you can use any color you want, but that has not been my experience.
Not any color.
Okay.
Not any color. There is a good handful of darker colors you can use, and I'll tell you. But this is my favorite part, and they just kind of give you a wink, and they put their hand smack in the middle of the sigil, and the entire thing lights up in this like bright blue, like almost a white blue, and just burns straight into the floor. Now it's in the house.
Oh, okay, yeah. So now the house has got this award inside of it to let in all of the nice people and drive out all of the bad people, gesturing into the distance of where this used to be.
That's the idea. That's the hope.
Yes. Okay. Excellent.
And then, like, as they kind of stand up and they just like dust their hands off and pick up their little pot. They as they come by you, they stop and they hold out their hand for your, or they like gently try to take whatever writing utensil you have like out of your hand and write a couple of different colors next to the you know, where you may have written down like burgundy or like dark colors or wherever it was, just written down like 3 or 4 other colors. And then next to gold, put down white's pretty good too. And then we'll put the pen down and like not pat your head, but just kind of like ruffle the top of your wizard hat if you're still wearing it.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like Orlest is dressed up primarily in the wizard uniform that you got for him, but B has created and or found and or both of those some sort of like worker smock, like as if you would wear for like painting or doing any sort of like heavy duty craft to protect your clothes, some sort of like apron type of situation that is tied around the wizard robe.
Yeah. As an aside,
covered in chalk.
Oh, beautiful. As an aside, to remind both us players and also those watching, the wizard now has kind of like an Aurora Galaxy hair situation going on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And pure black eyes with like speckly star bits. So that hasn't gone away in whatever time has gone past.
Yeah, this is just chill.
It's still there.
Looking at the other things that Watch Someone Work has, is the question, what unconscious habits of theirs makes you smile? And I think Orlest is fascinated by the fact that the wizard keeps grabbing for the different chalks without looking for the color, and like has turned it into this game, like watches the first couple of them and it's like, okay, so clearly they get it. And then like we see them like go over, the wizard like sets one back down for just a second and does like a switcheroo and like waits for the wizard to like
every time grabs
reach around and
the same
just
one.
like yeah
or
like goes where the one was and it's like no, not it, and then like grabs slightly to the side. It's just like fascinated by this
magic
and like picks
cool.
up 2 in like hands and like so trying to like do it themselves.
I think I feel like every once in a while the wizard would see that happening, like in passing, like would be walking past a doorway and just like see you and peer in and see it and would smile to themselves because that's the most adorable thing ever. And someday you might get it, but that's not how you do it.
Yeah, like moving room to room, it's like of course Orlest is carrying the little like pot of all the different kinds and like does a thing where like looks up at the air and like grabs one and like, blue, and looks and it's like no, okay.
I think there would be, I wanna like piggyback off that for just like the half not even like a full roleplay situation, but I think if this continues long enough, the wizard would teach you how, and it's not just for these. It's basically would teach you, or try to tell you how to essentially connect with the house so that you know pretty much that you are the house. As much as they can, because you can't, you literally, there's a separation because you're not the house.
Wizard, okay, so is it, I'm sensing the house and I'm sensing what the house needs and I reach into or am I sensing the energies of the chalks and I figure out, and I'm thinking, good vibes, grab gold, perhaps white.
More the second one.
Okay.
It's more manipulating the space around you to guide you to the thing that you need without having to think about it. So it's kind of like, if you think like we're standing in a bunch of gelatin and the magic, think like magic is gelatin, right? So it's not, it's not here, but it is.
Scribbles that down. Magic is gelatin. This is a revelation.
So it's it's kind of like you are parting the gelatin in a specific way so that, you know, if I'm reaching for something, My hand doesn't really have to think about it because the gelatin is moving in a way that makes my hand fall in a specific place. Does that make sense?
So, like when Enoch's cutting up an apple, and I reach out hand, and then he hands me an apple slice. I know if I reach out my hand like that, an apple slice will come to it.
If Enoch gives you, well, it's a little bit. You're almost there. It's
okay.
We'll work on it.
All right.
Magic apple slices. We'll get there. But that's. I mean, that's a good start. We'll work on it.
You turn to go do something else, and like immediately just goes back to this game of like reaches in, and it's like gold, and it's like a burnt orange, and it's like okay,
we're getting there. We're getting there. Amazing.
I think that's all I had to contribute to my choice there, unless you had anything else, Maria.
No, I think that was adorable and wholesome.
Do you have an inclination of what you want to do? I kind of know what I want to do.
Why don't you go then, and I might just play off of what you both have done already.
I am not gonna. I won't do a full RP scene with it, but I think I'm gonna do the get to work. Apply one of your I learned lessons to the situation at hand by roping someone into helping you with the task. I'm gonna do the I learned that I care about Mez's safety. So, and obviously Mez is not here, but there is a scene of like, I think Enoch notices that the Wiz and or Lester kind of working on the magic stuff. So Enoch goes up to the lighthouse the greenhouse to check on the lighthouse. So to check on
you don't know that there's not a lighthouse.
Man, that'd be cool, wouldn't
Listen,
it?
next time we hand set on the ground.
I know we said magic words, but what if we just added a lighthouse on top?
Let's just make it more conspicuous. You know,
next game,
Nick's
spider
camouflage.
house with lighthouse on top.
Right? We don't go out, we build up forever.
Yes. So Enoch goes to the greenhouse and just kind of like helps pick up, whatever plants may have fallen during the jump, makes conversation with Mez about how they're feeling after, doing the magic with or less, stuff like that. And just kind of talks to them, kind of is there and just kind of cleans up and has just a very a mundane conversation after all this craziness. And I think
that's so very sweet.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, nothing major. Just that.
I think, so to piggyback off of that, I think I am also going to watch someone work. And I am going to watch Enoch while he is working. Whether it's I don't know if it would necessarily be. Well, no, it might be while you're in the greenhouse doing what you're doing.
It doesn't have to be. I can do what I would do after.
Yeah.
If you'd prefer.
Yeah.
I think you'd rather. Well, here's what I'll let you choose. What Enoch would do afterwards. I think the next thing is like after the work is done, what activity do you all do together? It'd be food. I think Enoch would cook for everyone like a nice home cooked meal to kind of help everyone relax. So that's the next thing Enoch would do after cleaning.
Okay. Okay. Then, the Wiz is probably then, if you are going into, like, preparing food, the Wiz is probably doing dishes, which is something that they don't do very often because it is an arduous task, because, by golly, 3 people and a demon sure do use a lot of dishes for some reason, like when someone uses teacups for games. But but they're trying to get better at making things clean. So I think that they are probably, just doing the dishes in that they're making sure the dishes get done in whatever way that is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's necessarily, like, there might be like a greeting or whatever when you come in. But I think for the most part, and correct me if I'm wrong, does Enoch get like in a cooking zone?
Yes, absolutely. And especially because Enoch has to like focus to like become corporeal enough to cut things and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely gets in the zone.
Okay. So I think that after, you get settled and start just working, I think that the wizard would kind of just not leave the dishes, but like they're doing their own thing. I'm just here to make sure that they keep doing their thing. But would probably sit down. I imagine there's like a little like a stool set or something, and have a glass of some kind of tea or coffee, probably definitely coffee, and just watch as you cook something that you said that you do all the time and you love doing. And how does Enoch cook? That's a very strange question. How do you cook? But no, is there are there things that, because you've lived in this house for a while.
Yeah.
Not that you've cooked in this house like a lot, but
I think he's cooked I think it's something he enjoys. I think he's probably cooked a decent amount of meals here.
Okay, that's fair. Not that I've seen you cook a whole lot of meals, because I don't typically, until recently, haven't really had much care for hanging out with everyone. But, I guess I never let you answer. If there was like something specific, like just specific, like things that you habitually do, or that are like a ritualistic thing you do while you cook, or something like that. Like, do you stack your dishes in a specific way? Do you like always, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you do something a specific kind of way, or?
I think the things that Enoch does when he's cooking that are specific are, gets in a zone, like will respond to questions if asked, but like takes a little bit longer to respond, or like loses his focus when he's doing it. He gets like very enveloped in his work. And I think the other thing you would notice is that he spends a lot of time like focusing not only on the dish, but like the plating too. He always wants to make it look visually appealing as well. Especially after that first meal with the flower petals and stuff. I think especially after that has made an effort to make it to live up to that same, at least some sort of level of presentation.
Yeah. I think the latter part then is really, I guess, like the thing as a whole, the focus and the specific attention to like the plating detail, because we're all going to eat this, so it doesn't have to look good, but like the fact that you spend the extra time to make it look nice and appealing and pretty just for us to then shove in our faces. I think that's the thing, the little thing that always that makes the wizard smile over their cup of coffee while they watch you cook. And gets up and finishes washing the dishes. And like maybe without because you're in your zone, I don't know what you do with dishes as you use them. Maybe you have them like set off to the side or stacked or something like that.
Yeah.
But like I think that after seeing this, and they'll put down their coffee and we'll get up and go and just like scoop up the dishes that you have finished using and just bring them over and start to add them to the pile. So it might throw off your focus groove a little bit, but that's okay. That's the point.
Yeah, I think it would probably take him a while to notice. Like, he does a lot of other things and looks for the dishes and notices they're gone, like, after a chunk of time.
Yeah, and I think after that chunk of time, like, the dishes are done and they're all, like, setting and drying and everything, and, like, I imagine that you would look over and you just see them there and feel whatever you want to feel. I don't know.
Yeah, he would feel
I'm not you.
mild in his own way. And then serve dinner.
Woo. Yay.
All right. The aftermath.
Oh, that harrowing scene.
When the work is done, if every character has at least 2 marks, yeah, we do. You may record 1 minor improvement to the home.
Yay.
Record a new improvement without eliminating inconvenience. Work together to decide what the improvement is. So what 1 improvement are we going to go with?
I'm leaning more towards like the camouflaging department.
I agree. I would agree with that.
As opposed to like, because the wards they're just wards. They're whatever. Those can come up and go down whenever.
Yeah, I like camo too. I think that's an interesting one.
And I think it's more like along the lines of kind of like weird mirror magic. So like when you see it from far away, it kind of just reflects the stuff that's around and behind it. So it looks like it's just part of the scenery. But then when you get close, you're like, this is a really shiny spot.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then the last thing is, after the work is done, what activity do you all do together to celebrate the completion of the work? Where does it happen, and what is the mood?
Well, we were kind of leading into family dinner from the sounds of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe this is like maybe it's like dessert. Oh, you know what it is? The wizard had pulled up a bunch of that sticky goo stuff that they had introduced to Orlust. But it has evolved over time.
Oh no.
To be a little, well, just like something that is more of like an actual edible something. So it's more like a pudding, like a what is that layered pudding stuff?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna get there, I don't think.
Layered pudding stuff?
Yeah. I don't. Uh-oh. Words have failed me. But it's kind of like a layered pudding dish.
Like a trifle?
Yeah, there it is. I was gonna say treacle, and I'm like, that's not it. That's not it at all. No, like a trifle. Yeah. So it's like a big, like, goblet-y, like a massive goblet-y shaped thing full of this delicious pudding and cake type mixture that still has like layers of the exact same kind of strange goo-like substance, but then it's also layered with like edible food. You know, like food people would see in like a normal house.
Yeah, there's like a layer of magic goo, and then there's a layer of sponge cake, and then a layer of magic goo,
and then like a jelly, like a lemon curd maybe. Yeah. So maybe this is like an after dinner in like a drawing room with like a big hearth and like comfy seats and maybe some music playing.
As far as comfy seats go, I would like to say that there is an armchair that's a little too big for Orlest.
Absolutely.
And the little legs are like just kind of straight out off the edge.
Amazing.
They're like just sitting there just having weird goo. They eat the goo first because it's their favorite.
Of course you do. I cannot remember the name of our Catamancer. Stumpy. I don't know where I wrote. There it is. Stumpy. Where's Stumpy at? What's Stumpy doing?
Eating goo, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sneaking Stumpy food for sure.
In this room specifically is what I was more or less asking. Is Stumpy like at your feet? Is Stumpy in the chair with you? How big is Stumpy at this point, do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. It's not been that long, but probably pretty big somehow. Here's my thought: like medium, large dog. Not
is
like...
Stumpy your footstool? That's more the question I wanted to ask.
Okay, that's a pretty good one. I like that a lot. Yeah.
But I imagine you're like leaned like way
yeah.
down, and you're like half laying in this chair with your delicious
just like
stuff.
The...
Yeah. You're basically eating it off your chest, but not quite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's a sleepy Stumpy. That's a very cute scene to see.
Yes. Yeah.
The mood. It sounds like pretty good.
I think it's
vibes,
surprisingly relaxed, despite.
Yeah.
The harrowingness. I think that Wiz is probably sitting in another probably on like a sofa of some kind, like a comfortable sofa, with some of this dessert and then a glass of some kind of wine-esque something or other. Some kind of wine. Enjoying the not harrowingness of this moment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as far as mood is like, it's good, but like in the way of like, oh hey, we got away, and this is the first moment we've had to breathe for a second, and everyone's like, it's kind of a weird, quiet, like we're all feeling better, but.
A quiet, sort of relaxed, yeah.
Yeah, better, but like, let's enjoy it while we can, kind of way. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Did anyone mark anything off during that scene?
I was trying to think of something too, but no.
Mm-hmm.
None of mine are a little bit too
yes.
too much for the wholesomeness that this was.
You know what? I'm gonna mark one off.
Hell
I was
yeah.
thinking of it, but I'm gonna go with received comfort from an unexpected source. I think during this scene, Enoch is like everything that just happened in the last day, which was buck wild, of seeing people get trapped in paintings, like maybe nearly getting captured.
Seeing people as in yourself.
Yeah, correct. And then coming back to this and having this in this house that is now camouflaged and jumping around, this is oh, this is nice, is not what would have been several months ago. I think he is very comfortable, but is now realizing how acclimated he is to this place, that this scene is bringing him comfort.
Hello. That's so nice. Aww. My wizard heart.
Sure hope nothing ever gets bad again.
Yeah.
Too.
It's only good things from here.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that this home and people bring me comfort.
Ooh woo.
Ooh woo indeed.
Okay. And
Delightful.
next scene.
Delightful.
Do we decide how we were going to do picking order?
No.
I think because of the thing, this scene kind of has to probably be the one that's just you two.
Okay.
Because the other one, the one needs the demon, and then the other one is just cool and could have the demon in it, but this one is specifically only for you two.
Oh, does it specifically say that it's the...
Well, it's two characters and two characters who didn't do Midnight Confession. And Midnight Confession was me and Alex. So this has to be you two.
Excellent.
This is the unexpected heart-to-heart,
yes.
correct?
An unexpected
correct.
heart-to-heart.
So
Delightful. Oh, good.
Yeah, I
good,
would say
good.
it's Zach's turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably to pick, I guess. Or like I said, we're not really doing picking, I guess, anymore.
There's
We're kinda
not
just-
enough to
There's-
pick.
Yeah, we don't
Just
have
whatever
that
works.
luxury anymore.
This
Yeah.
pick, and then the next person to pick gets one, and then it's
That's it,
locked
yeah.
in from there on out, because
Yeah.
there's only one left, and then the end cap ones.
Yeah.
All right, so an unexpected heart-to-heart. Danger from the outside world is closing in, and you know that this interval of peace can't last forever. Oh, hey, we just had that discussion. You find yourself having an unexpected heart-to-heart with someone you never expected to be a sympathetic ear. Who is it, and what happens?
It's baby.
Baby.
It's you. Okay. So we do get a non-participating player.
Yes, I will do that before I. Yeah.
Amazing.
Describe an encroaching danger from the outside world that necessitates that everyone stays inside to hide until it passes. What is the danger?
Oh, interesting.
Also, to set it up, I imagine that at this point, the house has to settle for a second and essentially has to, like, we got to recharge some juices because you basically just spent them all on that big hop to give you more juice to go with in your describing of a bad thing.
I think the encroaching danger from the outside world is that I think that person whose name I know, Theris, our old friend Theris. I think there are now in the sky there are a lot of airships that are from the under Theris's banner.
Ooh.
That are just kind of keeping an eye out for us. We see like not like 1,000, but like there are small patrols of 1 or 2 airships that are like big hot air balloons carrying like small look like ships or like airships, just patrolling the skies, and they have whatever Theris's colors would be on the hot air balloon, and they're just kind of patrolling. So it's another reason we've decided to lay low for a while.
Excellent.
Gotcha. Nice. We love a fantasy airship.
We love
Always good.
fantasy airship. So very good.
All right. So, starting the scene. Where does the scene take place? Describe a few sensory details. So what? We're hiding out inside from the airships. Presumably, we're putting the ship's camo to its highest test yet.
Yep.
I assume the wizard would have like an idea of where they would want to hide out. Like, I mean, it's their house. They know all the weird nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
Or have a place that maybe they feel safe in. That's how I would assume that would play out, but... Maybe not, though. Like, I don't know if you've got anything.
No. It's going to take place. So I imagine that there was a very sudden reason we had to basically, like, scatter and hide, like, find, the most inward places of the house. Yeah. And Enoch and Mez found, their secret places. And I think the wizard grabbed you and brought you into their room.
The spooky normal room? I didn't want to say it, but that's what I was hoping to hear.
Excellent!
Okay.
Listen, there's only a few scenes, and I want to make sure that it gets out there.
For sure. Yeah. Maybe we're doing something together, like working on something, or
we're like at the big. I imagine that we were both sitting at like the big kitchen table, maybe doing some like not menial, but like some. Maybe, perhaps to you, tedious, like, writing work or something.
That's what I was thinking, like, manual, like, spell transcribing type of the thing was what I was thinking when you said that. Something
and then
of that
there's like a ping or Mez lets us know, or something like that. The house in some way lets us know, or lets the wizard know. They, in turn, like, yell really loud because magic, tell everyone to go hide, and just kind of grab you and pull you along quickly into their room. A few sensory details. So
Yeah, go hog wild with what this place is like on the inside.
So inside there is very, very simple accoutrement, furniture and the like. The wizard pulls open the door and kind of like not shoves you in, but like pushes you in and then closes it behind you. And as you enter, you see a very simple rug, kind of like a dark purple. No designs or anything, just very, very flat. There is a bed off to the side. Surprisingly small. Well, surprisingly in that, like, one might assume the wizard has a giant bed, because why not? They're extravagant. But no, it's fairly small. Pretty monotone colors as well, like very neutral colors. Very simple bedspread. Sitting on the bed, looking almost like it's a living thing, but it's not quite. Appears to be a stuffed animal that kind of looks like if you took a like a dog and like an ostrich and kind of pushed them together a little bit. So dog with like long neck, but like with also feathers and like strangeness. And there is a window, but you've never seen this window on the outside of the house. And through this window, there's some thin kind of material just to kind of diffuse the light. You can see the sea. You can see the seashore. And there is a kind of corner bookshelf that has a few books, a picture frame that has a picture in it, and a couple of like little baubles, like little glass statues or like stones, but they don't look like crystal. They just look like stones.
Like I found a cool rock. Yeah,
that kind of thing. And the only thing that doesn't look plain or mundane is on the right side, or rather the wall that you would see last because you stepped in. If you turned around where the door is, there's this giant mural of a blacky and inky and yet gorgeous galaxy covering the entire wall and door leading out. It's quite, the air in here is quite stale. It doesn't feel warm like the rest of the house does. Not like, temperature wise it feels okay, but it doesn't feel as welcoming as the rest of the house does. We're in my room, if you didn't catch that, Ty.
The spooky normal room.
Yeah. We're hiding in my room.
Kind of guessed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently we all just saw where that was going, yes. All right, so to just wrap up the starting the scene, we kind of covered all this. 2 of you are alone. Why? We already said that. What are you doing? We kind of have the external what are we doing, as in the why are we here. But what we're doing to pass the time / who starts the conversation. I'm trying to think, because like maybe Orlest is a little spooked by the suddenness of this and is like trying to be
yeah,
like,
I think
chill
like
and quiet.
yeah, like while you're just kind of standing there, like the wizard closes the door behind us and then like kind of stands there for a minute, looks over at the window and walks over to it and then just basically just like does this in front of it, just like strikes with their finger down, and like the whatever was there just like it basically just like turns off essentially, and it's just like wooden wall behind this glass paned window. And they just kind of and we'll turn back to you. Make yourself comfortable. Just like gestures to literally the bed is the only thing to sit on.
I was gonna say you didn't say chairs. I don't believe,
no.
And I was not getting the feeling that there was extra furniture.
There's like a wardrobe that isn't open. It's like it's fairly large, but not. It's just made out of wood.
I think Orlest goes and like sits not on the bed, but like at the foot of the bed, like back up against the foot of it, like just sitting crisscross applesauce, just being very like not sure what to do. Quiet, like, all right, I've been given my instruction. I've done that thing. Hold for next instruction.
I think there's a really long not sure what to do because they're not used to someone else being in their room. So I think after like a moment or two of like, I don't know what to do with my hands, they'll like sit on whatever opposite side of the bed that you're sitting on. Just kind of like settle there and put their hands on their lap. Just kind of awkwardly sit there for a bit.
It looks like here. I'll hop into these. The next section is called Being Vulnerable Together. Take turns selecting a moment with the player who has fewer marks selecting the first. I think we both hit all of them in Act 1, and probably, I don't think either of us have gotten one in Act 2, so coin flip on that. The player who selects a moment will ask the first question, and the other player will answer the second. So there's like, 2 bullet points with each. Play no more than 3 moments, though you may end the scene after 2 if it feels appropriate.
Excellent. There's an optional thing with this as well that I may... Hey, you want to be vulnerable? You want to be vulnerable together?
Let's be vulnerable just this once.
Just this once. Excellent. Would you like to go first?
Oh, I also straight up couldn't tell because there is one of them called Be Vulnerable, and I didn't know if you were suggesting that one as your first pick.
Oh God, no, but it could, maybe.
Okay, I was just establishing that was not like you calling your first one.
No.
Sorry, I'm trying to skim through these quickly enough to figure out what I would have to do on each.
It's all good. Take your time.
I think I'm gonna actually go with that first one. Say what needs to be said. So my instructions for the first part are, what is the thing you most need to say to the other person? The thing between you that you never thought you'd have the courage to speak out loud. Why do you say it now? I think let's work backwards on why do you say it now. The being, trapped in a little hideout, almost like bomb shelter-y type situation of hiding out, all the lights off, not letting the big flying warships get to us, prompts, like, after a long bit of silence of the two of us sitting there on, like, I think you said sitting on the bed, or less is like sitting on the floor backed up against the bed, and long bit of silence goes by, and it's like, hey, are you gonna be okay? Like, are you in danger? We've done a lot of running lately, specifically from some, I don't really know who or what, but seems like kind of the same person a lot, that Ferris. Is that gonna be all right?
They look down at you and kind of look at you with a sort of trying to size up whether or not they should tell you everything. And I think they give you a small soft grin and just kind of tousle your hair or hats, and say, Ferris and I have never quite gotten along. But despite our unshared interests, I don't think you have to worry. I'm gonna make sure that you're all alright.
I mean, I am worried for me. We are hiding but I am also, that was more worried about you. Are you gonna be all right? Like, even regardless of the rest of us, like, is this just gonna kind of keep happening forever?
I don't think it's gonna happen forever. But you don't have to worry about me.
Okay.
Just keep those spells that we were working on. Just keep working on those. They'll help.
Okay.
They seem really boring right now, but they're some of the most useful things that you can learn.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but yeah. Hands kind of cramped from all the transcribing. Yeah, I think that was kind of covered it for the thing I had. Would you like to pick our second moment?
Yes. I think we're gonna do be vulnerable.
Hey.
Hey. I think at this moment I took mine off already, but they take off their glasses and they just kind of rub their eyes. And they just like look down at their hand. And it's something that you probably haven't noticed until now, but like the ends of their fingertips have started to go a little bit wispy, almost incorporeal, just like the very edges of them kind of like go smoky and weird. And they look down at their hand and they kind of make a little fist, and they kind of chuckle, and say, there might come a point sooner rather than later that you may be the better wizard in this house. So keep studying your spells. You know, just in case I have to leave or anything like that.
No, that won't be for a long time that you're the better wizard. Like you said, we'll get through this, and I mean, I'll keep studying my spells. I promise, as much as I can. There's a lot of them, sure, but so it'll take me quite a while before I'm even half the wizard you are. That we won't have to worry about that for a long time. Like maybe like reaches over from the distance and like taps your like knee or whatever. Like it's all, without like really looking, like it's gonna be fine. We won't have to think about that.
They're just kind of like looking down at like both of their hands now, that are just like laying on their lap. Right. Right. Awkward pause falls in the group.
Yeah. The problem being that one like tossed up on my end, do you have the courage to be vulnerable and sponsored as the moment pass you by? I'm like, well, I think the second one, but it doesn't lead to good conversation. And it says we can do two if we think that's a good place to call it, or go on to a third one. How are we feeling?
It is up to you. If you think that you would have a third one, then we can do that, or we can do the aftermath and potentially do the optional one.
Ooh.
Which is doing it again, but with someone who's not in the scene.
Well, I think because what it phrases as, I think it's you immediately choose to play again with the non-participating players. Frame the scene as occurring in parallel to the. So I think it's like me and Alex could do it again, but we already did it.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think it's
yeah. I got you. Never mind that.
It's a possible thing. We could like do a two-part and bring that back around later potentially, but
sure.
Optionally, we could see. I'm trying to look through. Okay, so we did say what needs to be said, and we did be vulnerable. Concerned for another, I don't think is one or less would kick off.
There's give advice or ask for a promise.
Ask for a promise. I was leaning towards. Give advice feels weird in this particular situation.
Stop becoming Stop becoming demon. Stop it.
Stop demon now. No, unless it was like, I think, as we learned in the last one or less, is dealing with that by not dealing with that in a sort of way, like doing the double think of that's for sure not happening, and also probably secretly like working so hard on spells. I'm trying to think of exactly what for ask for a promise, but I do like that idea. it feels like it'd be a nice little cap on this. So I think like, yeah, another long moment goes by of like after we have the discussion of like,
and you kind of hear like this the muffled like sounds of propellers going really close like overhead of where we are.
Yeah, we get like some of those external shots in the Ghibli film version of this of like everything flying over us is where somehow camouflage like in the woods, I'm guessing like out in the wild somewhere.
I imagine that there was like a big cluster of like rocks and stones and stuff in the middle of like this giant field, and we just like nestled around them and basically look like one of the rocks.
Yeah, it just turned gray and just slid right up into the rock face. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, so we hear those noises and I think we're less like doing a little like breath holdy thing as we wait for the sound to dissipate.
I think by this point, the wizard had probably stood up and is just wandering the room, which is a strange thing because this is their room. But they're like wandering over to like the window that's empty, and the bookshelf, and is like fiddling with some of the like moving things around, but not like really moving them anywhere, just kind of like just like touching and like fidgeting with things, and like occasionally picks up one of the rocks and like tosses it over, like not like spins it around in their hand and puts it back, straightens the picture frame.
I think, yeah, or less maybe has like very quietly, you're like probably in your zone, gets up and then like tugs on your sleeve as you're like at the bookshelf, and it's like, wizard, can I ask you something?
Sure.
If it comes down to it and like we have to like square off with Theris or we get into trouble like that, you'll take care of yourself, right? Like I think we'll be fine here. There's the big moving like, can you just make sure that you get out all right, whatever that means for you?
They'll look a little bit sad. But then they'll kneel down so that they're more eye level to you. And will hold out their hands for yours. There's a lot of things I can do. There's a lot of magic that I know. But I can't promise that I'll come back if the worst happens. I will try. That's why you gotta get stronger, just in case, right?
Yeah, just in case.
And I think it feels a little bit funny because like they're holding your hands, but like they're most of their hand feels like normal, but then like the top like quarter of it is just very cold.
And it's like not quite there. It's not like there's not a fingers that are fully clasped around.
Yeah. So they'll like put your hands together and like give them back to you.
I think we like at this point maybe here as the final moment goes by, like it's quiet down. I think they're mostly past. We could peek out the window or a different window maybe.
I think the wizard, like they're next to one of the walls. They just draw like a circle on the wall, and it just turns essentially transparent into its own window. And they're able to see out, and the ships are kind of starting to fade off into the kind of misty morning. And then they just trace the circle the other direction, and the window disappears. And they turn back to you and they smile. And they stand up and they slip their glasses back on and they say, well, I guess we can see what the others are up to.
Yeah. Let's go check in on them. All right. So, aftermath.
Aftermath.
The emotional fallout.
Ah.
So, how does this conversation change how you see each other for the better? What unexpected comfort do you take? And then there's stuff about marks as well. Would you like to go first on that?
Yeah. The wizard sees Orlest as more than just a something to try to keep alive because they are baby and don't know how to take care of themselves. They see Orlest as, you know, like, I think this is one of the first times, which, like, and not in like they had seen them in a derogatory way in the past, but like they really see them as like an actual human being for the first time, not just wee baby, because they genuinely seem to care about the wizard, which is not something that they're used to. And they're comforted that you are trying so hard. They're both comforted and absolutely heartbroken that you are so concerned for their safety, because they don't think that they can live up to your promise at all.
Yeah, it's that thing of like, you're kind of the older parent figure, and it's like, oh no, if they are seeing through the situation enough that they're worried about me, like,
Yep.
this can't possibly be going well.
Yep.
So, do you have anything else on that?
No, go ahead.
Okay, gotcha. So on my end, like, how does this change how Orlest sees the wizard for the better? I think kind of up until recently, as things have started to take a turn, and maybe like right in that final moment of like literally seeing, in a way, they're like seem to be dissipating from a corporeal form. Orlest starts to see the wizard as not just an adult who's got all this power and got it all figured out, and like starts to see like, oh, hey, one, it's clear they don't have it all figured out. They're doing their best. They're getting along. They're fighting through, but it's like everyone's just kind of making it up as they go along. And it's weirdly, though, that sounds like the thing of like, this person has started raising me and suddenly they're not Superman. It's like, but they're a whole person in a way that Orlest had never kind of like put together before, which is nice. And the unexpected comfort that I take out of the situation is that, we've been doing all the spell things, and it's like, it kind of starts to see it as like, oh, this is not just training me. This is like passing something down. It's like, look, I'm giving you all these tools. Someday I will theoretically die in a blaze of wizard battle glory or something similar. We're not really sure how that's going to go down, but like, it's like, it's not just, hey, I want to teach you magic. It's, I'm giving you a piece of myself here.
Yep. Yep. In a way. Yep. Yep. How sad. How
we get to the sad internal parts, huh?
Amazing. Act 2, where it gets real sad, and I'm here for it.
All right. God. And if anyone crossed off a mark in the scene, write down what you learned from that scene I learned. Same.
I did. Oh
what
my
did
God.
you mark off?
I marked off deflect concern for yourself by caring for someone else.
Aw. The cute foil to that is that I marked off care for the wizard when they won't accept it from anyone else. We're both just doing a care, you know?
Oh, it's sad.
It's real sad, huh?
Help, it's sad. Oops, all sad. Why is this just doing this? Very strange thing, you.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that Orless cares so much for me, I must ensure that they survive and thrive.
Oh, cute. I kind of alluded to mine in the aftermath section, but like, I think the thing that Orless learned is there are different types of power. Like, there's magical power, but then like sees that the wizard has like both vulnerability and through that vulnerability strength on being like, you know, that things are going bad, but they're making the best of it for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now I cry.
Did we reach the crying phase?
Oh.
I just saw, I finally read the whole sentence of what type of chat.
Orless has graduated from liability to legitimate human being. Absolutely. Absolutely correct.
You're a person, kid. Way to go.
Way to go. Amazing. All it took was me almost completely dissolving and us having this very interesting and sad moment in my space. I'm really interested that you didn't ask any sort of questions about the space.
Both in character and OOC, like, it's really get eaten at me, but also like, oh no, that was a weird time.
That's true. Welcome back, Ty.
What's the deal with your weird bed and your nothing in your room?
Hey, what's
wrong with you, wizard?
Why is your room so normal?
Hey, are you emotionally damaged and this is a manifestation of that? Just like rattle that off quick.
How dare you read me? Welcome back.
Your character building.
Welcome back. We wrapped up our scene and we learned some things, and I deflected concern for myself to care for someone else, and basically also so did Orlest, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that was their mark that they got, and then I got care for the wizard when they won't accept it from anyone else. So, but we're both just doing our best out here. You know?
We're trying our ding dong best. Excellent. Would you love to have an alarming dream, Ty?
Well, I think we should talk about, like, because there's two real scenes we get to pick next.
Yeah.
One of them is a visitor from the past that the demon will play. Someone basically has to have a visitor, and then someone has to have an alarming dream. Who do we think should do, like, as a group? I think we should do. And the person with the dream and the demon cannot be like the subject of either of those. So it's the three of us that we have two scenes left that two of us have to be the subject of. So what do we think would be the best here?
Okay, I selfishly would love to have a dream, I think
that would be very cool. Yeah.
Honestly, I was also thinking, like,
I think it would
Enoch
be great
having
to have
an unexpected visitor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but I'm sure. I feel like Ty's got something up there.
I probably have a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, you got something in the chamber for sure.
Yeah, I don't think Visitor of the Past would work. I think the wizard already has that in Theris, so I think that's probably
the
wizard.
This is correct.
They have the most important visitor from the past facing us.
I don't want them to come back, please.
Yeah, that's a presumably Act 2 climax thing.
Yeah.
And it's an aftermath or the resolution thing too.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Okay, so you're going to be the dreamer. It's the game is for 2 or 3 characters, so we can you and I can both, if you still want to do it, Zach, you and I can both be in it, and then if Alex pops up, we can hop in instead of one of us for like the second half.
Sure.
Okay.
To participate.
Yeah, we'll see exactly what this is.
There's charts. There's charts.
You and I are not playing ourselves. We're playing figments, and we are not allowed to make marks as we are these figments.
Oh,
yeah.
Fancy.
So what this one is called? It's called an alarming dream. Your sleep has been unsettled lately. Gee, I wonder why. One night you have an alarming dream about someone that feels prophetic and stirs up secret fears. What is the dream about and why is it so troubling? Oh, this is gonna be so good! I'm scared. I'm nervous. Don't mind me.
Just vibing.
Just vibing. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot. That's fine.
Figments cannot hit marks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Figments will generate a location, action, emotion, and sensory detail that they will use to set the scene. For each category, you roll a d6 to determine which list to pick from, then roll a d6 again to determine the thing in that list.
Mm-hmm. Right. Ty, would you like to roll first?
Sure, I'll do location. My first roll is a 3, so it's on the first list, and my second roll is also a 3. Inside the home. We are inside the home.
Hey, all right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we open up on your dream begins. You are in the hallway of the hallway that leads to your room specifically. I think the wizard is standing there. Like, the hallway seems unnaturally longer than it is, and both ends kind of just fade into blackness. And the only door is the one to your room. And that's the part of the house you're inside.
All right.
How amazing.
Incredible. The next one up is action, so I will roll that. So I got 5, so that is the second column here. And then a 6. You are telling someone's fortune. I'm trying to think of...
If it doesn't... Well, I don't know how much... That doesn't feel like it fits with who the wizard is, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want
So I was trying to figure out, like...
You could re-roll. Or someone's telling you your fortune.
It could be someone telling you...
Not in my house, though.
It's a dream.
It is a dream.
That's what I was trying to figure out, like...
Yeah. Dreams are weird. We can make it as weird as we want.
That's
true. The only way I could, like, justify it.
It could be Stumpy telling you your fortune.
How very strange.
Yeah, should we just reroll all...
Yeah, that's also that works too.
Okay, second list fort. Watching a parade in the house in the endless hallway. I'm thinking, having just rewatched Russian Doll recently, like at the end where there's all the people and they've got like the paper mache mask like parading down the street is the first thing that came to mind there. I think it's like some sort of masquerade type situation, like everyone has very highly constructed masks of various beast figures and demons, and they seem unpreoccupied with you in this moment. Like, you know, you're at this door, there's this endless hallway stretching in both directions, and at first they're coming from your left. You see them approaching, like however the wizard is feeling about that, but then as they get to you, they are just like politely shuffling by you on their own little situation. Mm-hmm. Like they see you, they move about you, but they seem undeterred and unconcerned with your presence.
Okay.
All right.
This is great.
Emotion.
This is the one I'm super excited.
I got a 6.
Uh-huh.
The first column.
Uh-huh.
No matter what you do, somehow it is always wrong.
How delightful!
Wonder what this dream means.
No matter what. Okay, in this scene, where was the parade happening exactly in like location of this scene?
Through the hallway you initially described.
So they're just kind of walking.
They're like walking from like
past.
dark end to dark end.
Yeah, from the infinite
like
dark
from nothing
end
into nothing.
Yeah, I think no matter what you do, somehow it is always wrong. I think what happens in this scene is, I think the wizard is a doer more than like a thinker a lot of the time. So I think you just start trying to like first you go against the crowd and you end up back in the same spot in the hallway, and then you try to go with the crowd and you end up in the same spot as the hallway. And you try to walk towards the door, and it just keeps it. You never seem to reach it as much as you keep walking. Mm-hmm. So I think no matter which of these options you try, just you end up in the same place in that hallway. Mm-hmm. And the parade just keeps coming, undeterred.
The sensory detail is fun. I pre-rolled it as you were talking, and it is people with animal heads.
Oh!
So what I'd like to toss in as like kind of the slight twist on the like masquerade parade situation that's going on is it starts off, it's very constructed, like kind of paper mache or like craft masks, and as the people are like coming along slowly, the more that they get through, the more it becomes hyper realistic to the point of like they're slightly more detailed and they've like got real fur or things like that, and eventually it just becomes that it is an actual like a person with a wolf head or a bear face that's like slowly creeping down their body and becoming more realistic as they are, like as this continues to go on, as people keep shuffling past you.
This dream sucks.
This dream is not. Y'all, Alex is here.
Hey.
All right.
Are we gonna have to do some video shuffling?
Nah, we just gotta do this. Oh, wait. Hello?
I'm here.
Hello.
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 Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am comfy on my couch.
Amazing.
Good.
I got you up as no face again, so no worries. Be comfy.
Good.
Welcome.
Did you not going to be a face?
That is totally great. The two of them have just described a very terrible dream that I am having, so this is great.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. Well, so how this is going to work, the dreamer, me, will select 3 fragments, and both players will answer the associated questions. These fragments may happen in sequence or out of sequence, as dreams are often remembered in pieces. For some prompts, it might not make sense for both fragments to answer a question. For others, it might make perfect sense. Do whatever feels right to you in the story.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. There's 5, and I select 3. Okay.
Alex, you can be a figment too, by the way, because this is...
Yeah, I was just going to jump in and say either we can do all 3 or I could pop out since I've gotten to be in all of the scenes so far.
I am a figment.
It's easier to do 2 figment.
I'm an imagination.
Yeah, you're just a little dream figment.
Yeah.
You don't get a mark down your little marks as streams, apparently, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not.
And we're on to Act 2, correct?
Correct.
Yes. The wizard's having a spooky dream where they are in a hallway that stretches to eternity in both directions, and they're at their bedroom door but can't get to it. And a parade of masked people that's slowly becoming aminal head people is passing them by.
It's really, really great. Okay.
Oh, and the emotion is that they can do nothing right whenever they try and go like any which way.
Do anything.
None of it's
try
working.
to do anything. Yeah, no matter what you do, it's always wrong.
So that's
I feel that.
Yeah. So I think. Okay. So the first one that I'm going to pick. Okay, so I'm a little bit. I don't know what these figments are supposed to be. Are they supposed to be like people?
I think the prompt either tells you, or I think we get to decide.
Okay.
Or maybe no, I think you get to decide because it's you offering to do things. So I think it's probably you deciding what the figments are, based on some of these prompts.
Yeah, because they are all other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I assume that they are people that I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you are choosing for us.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely have the like first thing to kind of set the stage for each figment.
Got it. Okay. I want. Let's see. Oh, but they're all so good.
No wrong answers then.
Right. We're gonna start with the one that I think is the most on the wizard's mind, which is the warning. Because I think it makes sense. One of the details of the dream shift to become an encroaching danger from the outside world. What changes and what does it change into? You can either make it random or choose something as you like. So I think as this parade is kind of continuously going before them and around them, the masked figures start to every once in a while will be like the colorings and the garb of Theris's forces before like disappearing into the crowd, and then it starts to get a little bit more frequent, and eventually like Theris keeps popping up like in the crowd until like eventually the entire crowd of this parade is just Theris with different like animal masks over their face or like in their hands, but you know it's Theris, or rather I know it's Theris. And like even the masks, they're not animal masks, they're just masks of Theris's face. So they're just everywhere. This entire parade. Still not noticing, not like, kind of like nonchalantly ignoring, you know, the wizard and everything in here. But it's Theris all the way down now. That's what it is. And then Figment, what warning do you give to the dreamer about the encroaching danger? Who would be there? Oh, there's a weird, like, whispering. That was weird.
Spooky.
It's like binaural. It was like way back here somewhere. See, so that's still the one thing that I'm not quite sure how to.
I mean, you could also give it. I think it could go either way. I think if you could say, like, you know, one of us, oh, do you want to be the Figment? We could come up with something. If you don't, I don't think you have to.
Yeah, because it says that both Figments can answer a question, or just one of them.
Yeah.
But it's very, very obtuse about what the Figments are. Like, are you playing... My understanding was you were playing essentially Figments of your characters. So, like, Orless, but not actually Orless. And, like, Enoch, but not actually Enoch. Or...
I don't think we have to. I think you could, but I don't think it has to be that way. I think it could be, like... You could do, like, a version of Theris or, like, your mentor. I think it could be anything, really.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I think then this Figment, and it can be, I'll leave it up to either of you to decide who wants to be what Figment, or if you both want to be whatever. I think specifically this Figment is going to be the person who brought up and taught both Theris and the wizard, because they studied roughly at the same time.
And his name was Mervin.
No, I think her name was Janaya.
Ooh, better.
Yeah. And she was much, much older and had like very, very tanned skin, short, cropped, stark white hair, some intricate tattoos from like her temples back behind her ears and down her neck. Dressed a little bit garishly, perhaps some homages. The wizard has taken some homages from her into their everyday wear. But I think that's who shows up to warn the wizard.
Does anyone want to take it? I can take it if no one else wants to.
Go for it, Ty. I
If you
believe.
got an idea, go for it.
Okay. Janaya, I think the way this I'm maybe not interpreting this exactly correctly, but what I would like to think happens is I think Janaya doesn't exactly address the wizard. I think it's a dream, but also kind of a memory. You see Janaya talking to like a somewhat ethereal version of both you and Theris, and says, now I can spend hours, days, months, years studying magic together, and I can show you all I know and hope you aspire to heights I could not dream of. But all I can do is show you the magic. What you both decide to do with it, that is up to you. And then fades away.
Yikes. Well, that's fine. That sure is totally fine. Damn, see, I want to do all of them, but it says to only pick 3.
We could do one more. I mean, I'm sure it's not gonna.
No, it's fine. It makes me choose, and I just don't want to. I'm going to pick. I'm gonna pick Secret Wish. And in this endless parade that eventually starts to transition again back into something more mundane, there are some other people that the wizard recognizes. They begin to see individuals who were in a picture that someone saw of them. It is visages of their grandmother and of their parents. And I think the whole crowd just kind of turns into the 3 of them. People who the wizard was raised by. But in this space, as it kind of shifts in its strangeness, the wizard seeing all of these figures that they recognize and that are completely ignoring them in a way, kind of shouts at all of them, like surrounded by them, and says, "Why did you never show me what a family could actually be?" Kind of changing what's the one thing that they most wish the other person would say to you. But that's what they say. That's what they say to their family members.
I mean, that's kind of giving the prompt of what you would like out of them. So
Yes.
I think that's good.
Yes. So there are technically 3 of them. So if you all want to be...
Mm-hmm.
a person from the wizard's past to respond in the prompts, such as what do you actually say, how do you say it, and what does how does Dreamer react? Well, that one's.
Sorry, it was the parents and
grandmother, like a matriarch.
Grandmother. Yep. Okay.
So you need. So we're all gonna portray one.
If you want to, there's no.
Yeah, if we'd like to, yeah.
And so we're portraying, and the three people in the scene are grandparents and your teacher?
No, the wizard's grandmother and then their parents.
I understand. Okay, cool. I'm tracking. I just got off a flight. Don't mind me.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. I want to be the grand.
Amazing, amazing.
Perfect.
But was their grandma nice or not nice? Or is this something I just get to decide to do?
It's definitely something. It's
grandma, later in Kanto grandma.
Y'all can have a little bit of creative liberty, but the general idea is that the childhood that the wizard had was not one that was filled with as much love and kindness and colorfulness as the wizard kind of shows to other people.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to have been brought on later by something else. So whether it was actual cruelty or it was just a sense of being ignored or super strictness or whatever kind of combination of all of that together, that is what they got from the parentals and also grandmama growing up as the child.
I feel like grandmama was very much like King George's mother, just very proper and did not hug.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's going first? I have nothing in front of me, so I don't know what I don't know what I need to be doing. So,
so the for the figments, so the wizard essentially shouted out, why did you never? I don't remember what I said now.
Never showed me what a family
could be. Yeah. Your prompts are, what do you say, how do you say it, and how does Dreamer react, which is, you can say that or I can say that, doesn't matter.
Interesting. I don't know if grandmama would be cold, but grandma would say that family is responsibility, and I feel like in that we instilled in you an understanding. You had a roof over your head. You had books. You had learning. That is more than most families get.
Be grateful, Anya. Yeah, it definitely has that, like, why are you upset about this? This is like, we gave you everything kind of vibe. I think the dreamer reacts like one would react being slapped in the face of like, what? Hang on, but wait, I have that here, but I'm happy here, so there's obviously there's something wrong. Wait a minute. And I also imagine like one of this like this parade of parental figures / grandmother figures. One of them stops, but all of them talk at once in like a weird like dissonant whispered type sort of terrible thing. It's not great. It's not good.
I wouldn't say that the grandmother was saying it in like a really cold way and like a disparaging way, but just as
like factual.
As a person who probably never experienced it themselves, and their understanding of family is not what it is. Not malicious. It's just, you were taken care of. I don't understand.
Yep. Sometimes that hits the hardest, though.
Yes, because then you're like, you want to be mad, but then you also feel sad for them, but angry. Can relate.
Ty, did you have one of the parents that you were leaning towards, or an idea, or
No, I don't. I don't think so for this scene.
Okay. I'm thinking maybe the mother approaches you next. Guess I don't know if you described your parents at all, but
I don't. I feel like I did, and I know that they have at least one mother, so that is totally fine.
Okay, yeah. I was
so
like,
I don't know, like yeah. I remember I said
we
it.
Mentioned parents before. And
yeah, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I do know that they have at least one mother. So
okay, yes, a mother. The other parent is off in the distance, and they'll be conjured into existence after, if necessary. But I think comes up to you and like leads off in a similar way to the grandmother. It's like, child, family is duty. We gave you everything we had, and like I think maybe this mother figure was like the type of parent that's like, well, it's all about, I've put a roof over your head, like everything, made you meals, like did all of these external things, and it's like, well, I did all the things that you needed to be a person, kind of, and it's like has that in their voice. It's like, we provided you food and shelter, and you grew up with maybe not without a want in the world, without a need that went unfulfilled. That's what family is about, is for providing for others, your duty to them.
I think like internally they are like mulling about the ideas of, you never listened to what I wanted, and what I wanted was not something tangible. So did you actually provide things for me? As it just kind of like fades away. I think the last thing is fear, because we love exploring fear in this.
Wizard, what does the wizard have to be fearful about that would be manifesting in a dream?
What is the wizard scared about? Well, I'm glad you asked. So I think that perhaps the parade thins at this point. And in front of them, instead of the door that is supposed to be there, as like the parade passes them and the door is kind of there, and then all of a sudden it transforms to a very large framed picture, inside of which is Enoch, who is I don't know specifically. I think what is happening is that like Enoch is trying to get out of the picture, but as was mentioned before, no matter what I do, it's always wrong. The wizard cannot get to this picture frame. The wizard tries to do every kind of magical thing that they can think of. They try to tap into that really, like, bad, scary, dark magic, and that doesn't even work. And they just keep trying until they are exhausted. And the thing that they fear the most is manifest in this way is what happened in that house of Enoch, someone that they're learning that they care deeply about, is going to be harmed or killed because of their proximity to the wizard. And they react to the situation similarly how they did before, just a little less composed and much more panicked, and throw a whole lot more energy into trying to get them out, but it does not work. Nothing that they do works in this moment. And I think, like, progressively, I think as like they continue to not have this work, I think progressively, like, Enoch starts turning into, like, a still portrait as the magic kind of, like, really, like, imprisons him in this space, to the point where, like, he doesn't become anything. It just becomes a picture. And it's, like, a very slow process that's happening. Ty, do you want to take that one?
I should probably take that one. I'm thinking.
Yeah, you want to be Enoch?
I'll be Dream Enoch.
Oops.
Would it be Dream Knock?
Dream Knock. God, that's
Dream
the
Knock
worst.
say?
The best.
There we go. Slam dunk
You're
on
welcome.
that.
I'm just scratching emotional trauma and horrible puns.
Good,
I'll
great.
be here
Mhm.
all night.
That's what we're here for.
I think what Dreamknock says as he is turning painting is, when you are trying to help someone or care for them, you shouldn't just try what you know best and what you're good at. You should try to think about what they need in that moment. That's it?
They turn into a picture that it's very sad. Well.
But he'll always look that good.
So the aftermath of this, because I think three is good. The aftermath, how does the dream end? Abruptly, or does it fade into something more innocuous? What happens in the morning that reminds you with perfect clarity of every detail? What feeling are you unable to shake off? I think the dream absolutely ends abruptly. Like, I think what happens is, like, specifically because it ended with that scene with the Enoch painting, I think the painting just kind of, like, shudders and then falls and crashes to the ground, and that's what, like, wakes the wizard up. And I think I don't think they were asleep in their room. They were, like, asleep, like, on the table in the middle of, like, the like, dining area. And I think what had maybe, like, actually woken them up, maybe Orless had dropped a book or something like that. Mm-hmm. and
Mez 100% ran into an entire bookshelf.
there it is. And they just kind of like shake it off. And it's kind of altering it a little bit. This isn't necessarily happening in the morning, but like later on when, you know, it just kind of, it turns into like fuzziness. I think they are they're walking past like the one of like the sitting rooms, like the big comfy one. And somehow there's like a like beautiful scene, like a nature scene that's like a painting in this sitting room. And I don't know if Enoch is just cleaning up in the room. Enoch is in this room and looks up as like the wizard walks by. The Wiz looks over and it's just like perfectly framed with like Enoch with this frame behind him, that everything just like flashes back about this entire dream, because that was the last thing that they had dreamed about. And I think it's that fear of losing not just Enoch, but everyone, because of the conversation that they had with Orlest and everything in previous conversations with Mez, that their actions are going to cause the downfall of everyone else. And I think that they just can't really shake that as they continue about the rest of their day and then into the next coming days. How the wizard is sad.
Wizard, hey,
No.
the wizard doesn't seem to be okay in Act 2.
The wizard's never been okay. I don't think you understand.
Different not okay, though. Like,
Yeah,
a deepening well of not okay as bubbled up to the surface.
Yeah, that's what happens when your wizard arch rival takes a person you're starting to kind of care about and throws them into a picture frame. It's weird how that happens. It's really weird.
Listen. I had one job on this ship.
Yeah, you did it so good. Good.
It just sounded so deliciously evil.
It was very nice. Very, very good.
So happy I'm part of your nightmares.
I didn't mark anything for that scene. There wasn't anything too perfect to do. But
All right, so that was, emotionally damaging nightmare as it was described in the Zoom chat.
Yeah. It's fine.
Dream is being very generous. I don't think so.
Yeah, Dream is being generous. Alarming is an understatement.
Yeah.
Alarming in some
so
ways, I
happy.
suppose.
I'm so happy I got to come in here at the end and just
Yeah.
poke a person.
Grandmama.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmama comes in the family. Everything you needed.
So with that positive ending, that's where we'll end this
Yeah.
session.
Yikes.
So wherever I'm going to see your name, you can find you in your favorite moments. Let's start with Alex.
Oh,
Hi.
hi. I'm Alex. I'm utter garbage.
Lies and slander.
I would say that my favorite part of the night was driving here to get from the airport.
Amazing.
No, but just stepping in and just being able to see like how well we are with these characters and just like, oh, okay, yeah, this is great. Trauma.
Trauma. We love to
Trauma.
see it. We love to see it.
Zach.
That's this person. Hi, I'm Zach. You can find me on the internet places at Zachary20XX. I do things like tweet stuff and occasionally stream a video game on twitch.tv. this website that we are on right now, unless you're watching this on a VOD. It's a different website. In which case, thank you for watching our VOD on the YouTube. My favorite moment from the evening. Trying to run back through.
We did the preparations.
And we did a heart to heart. And we did a spooky dream.
A bad dream.
A real bad dream.
One bad dream.
Honestly, the easy one is that I was just psyched that I got to see the inside of the wizard's room and just have way more questions than answers on why is it so mundane? What are all the rocks? Why are they there? I still, me as a person, not as a character, don't know 100% if that window that looked out upon the sea was pointing to a real sea or if it was supposed to be some sort of fictitious one. Doesn't matter, but either way, confusing. So I enjoyed that a lot. And as the person who I don't think is doing the outro, Maria, you get to go next.
Me. Hello, I'm Maria. I can be found on the internet at Happy Capster. There's a lot of things happening. Follow my socials. You'll figure it out then. I stream a lot and am playing in multiple games. So just check out my Twitter and you'll know everything that I'm doing. But also, most notably, tomorrow night, I'm going to be in Abraxas' Precipice, which is the Expanse TTRPG over on Only Play Wizards. Please come and watch that at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, tonight, this thing that I am playing now, this was great. My favorite moments were all the questions Orlest asked while in the Wizard's Room. Because they were ones that I knew were going to be coming, and I was still unprepared for them. Absolutely still entirely unprepared. I love just making up random magic stuff for the wizard to do, because it literally can do anything inside my own house. But, like, having those gut-punching questions of, like, you're going to be okay, right? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think I am. But I can't tell you because you care too much. So I'm going to just say, take care of yourself. It's fine. It's just, it makes my heart hurt and I love it. Ty.
My name's Ty. You can find me at Baller and Brawler on Twitter. You can find me here, Mythos Mystery Society, every Tuesday doing this. Dave is thinking about running a game here sometime soon. We haven't set any dates yet, and we have some new stuff up on YouTube as of like a couple of weeks ago. And Dave is uploading a lot of game night stuff to our YouTube that we have played on Maria's channel. A lot of board game stuff. I think there's like 5 episodes so far. We always play different board games, and it's a lot of fun.
It's super fun.
My favorite moment from tonight, I was not being the one who had to do the dream. I was like, oh, one of us is going to do it.
Snipes,
and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad it wasn't me after doing it. That's horrible. I don't want that.
It was great. It was great.
Granted, I don't know. The visitor could also be awful. We'll find out next week, I guess.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm beyond stoked to do this visitor thing with specifically Enoch, because, like, I want it so bad. I did like the drink scene in general. It was just a lot worse, so much worse than I thought it was gonna go. It didn't have to be. I just made it bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I made it sad because the wizard does not have pleasant memories.
But that was my favorite moment. So with that, we are done for the time. Are we gonna rate anyone?
Yes, the Amphitheater is still currently on with Eulalia 5e, which is a Redwall D&D 5e game hosted by, or run by, I should say, the wonderful Duval Jacobs, who is one of my personal friends. They are amazing. They are fantastic. They've got a lot of wonderful, good players on there. I did the overlays, which I also really enjoy. But also the game is really, really cool. So check it out. Hang out. Be cool. Be awesome. That's where we're going to go. Okay. Anything else? No? Bye.
No, we solved it.
We did it. Bye.